The chihuahua with Arsene back here. Give me your food now.
Yeah, I'd be giving that dog bowls all day long. I would not want to get on the bad side of that dog. So we'll see if this dog has some bite against BONK here, or with the multi-pronged sword of Meta Knight here, provide some cuts in on Mercury on the other side of things. We'll find out with this winner's final set now coming in. And so far, both scrapping going toe-to-toe, but off stage here, Mercury going to use a little bit of a faraway guns to, again, just salt and pepper BONK, just keep, sort of that reserved aggression that we saw him pick up from Juice, sort of being a little bit applied here against BONK.
Yeah, and I honestly really like this stage pick, but it's also a really weird stage pick, because when you think of, where do you not want with Meta, it's often flat stages, but the thing I've actually kind of started to learn about this matchup, it's actually not that bad if you start trapping his landings. If you don't let him touch you, like with character like Joker, we have guns as movement options, and you start restricting his movement, Meta Knight only has so many jumps. He's going to have to land eventually, and once you get it out of him, you're fine. And punishing the unsafe dash with the up smash, and so far Mercury's gameplay of kind of playing slow, kind of playing bait and punish, and using guns and AHA as he is working out very well.
Yeah, and punishing his landings was a good thing to bring up, because most of BONK's starters for his touch of death combos come from things like down tilt or dash attack. So if you cut off that grounded option from him entirely and pressure him in the air and make the air unsafe, he's basically just half a character down, essentially.
Yeah, and Joker Gun's ability just to deny anti-airs is so strong. I was actually VOD with Vlad Kai about Joker Gun and why it's so hard to beat and how do you beat it, and it's like it forces you to jump, and then out of jump he either hits you with an area or guns you in the air, and it makes it so hard to deal with, and I feel like that's why we're seeing Merc get so much mileage. And at stage like FD, you don't have places to go. If he starts shooting you, what are you going to do? Like, look at BONK, he can't touch him because he's just getting shot in the face.
I feel like that's one of the big things about most characters against Meta Knight. Like, characters with that kind of burst range are going to want to whip punish, you're going to want to catch landings, but Joker's one of the characters that just kind of restricts that option out of him, so BONK has to be that much more creative and work that much harder to find his openings. And with the way Merc is just piling on damage in neutral, not really even getting many crazy combos, just getting chip damage here and there, able to camp him out. He has that range to get away from him should he need it. But here comes the bridge. Back air from BONK. There it is. That's the stock.
55.
I was going to say, yeah, Mercury for those small combos, he can take an inch, or give an inch and take a mile, but so can BONK. He can find the tiniest measurement out there. I'm not sure what the Brits have over there for their smallest measurement, but BONK certainly found it. But let's not concern ourselves, with Britain all too well right now. But BONK, again, like we just saw, finding that touch of death, or at least aggression off that left side and finishing with the back air will even things up. But much like the first stock situation, oh my word, saved by the skin of his teeth with that tech option. But still, BONK again on that back pedal, trying to find some answer, and he is not finding anything right now.
Yeah, being in the corner against Arsene is very scary. And
minus 6 F smash.
Yep. Pop all these options, try to kill him, but unfortunately none of them are landing, so you are going to have to be a little bit more careful with how you're now throwing out your kill options, because they're definitely not going to be as, goodbye.
That's it.
Whee! Oh, wait, nope. Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, the assurance Nair going down, but we do see the blue blast first, and Meta Knight being triumphant for that first round. Again, like you said, the recovery of Mercury with Joker rather with Arsene, it's very linear, very readable. With the tether, he stays out there for a bit longer, or it's slower, and so that Nair is just free to knock him out of range. So. Maybe not finding those long combos and getting the damage up might be the key for BONK going forward in this set. Maybe, you just find the easy way to aggressive Joker off the side of the stage and take your easy shots out there. Might be the way to go for him going forward.
Now, on the complete opposite end of the stage spectrum, here we have Smashville.
True.
Well, I don't know if I'd say complete opposite. I think there are enough similarities, at least to how you want to play on this stage, or it's similar enough. I mean, it's also like physical length, I think, same as FD. I just have a platform in the middle.
Yeah, I think Smashville is just everything is shifted upward, but I think it's the same dimensions.
Yeah.
So
It feels so much smaller. I guess because that platform just restricts so much.
Right.
Yeah, but I actually really like that platform for this case. I feel like the end of Game 1, we started seeing BONK start to call out some of these projectiles that Merc was using. That actually was one of the, I think, how it led to his death. So now you have a platform that you can escape to. It admittedly does give BONK, a place to now, reset on. But I think overall, having a place to escape to and just not have to deal with dash tag and down tilt on the ground is going to help a lot. But I don't. Wow, you really went that direction. I don't think anyone thought it was going to happen. Mercury definitely did not, and missing that tech in.
The other thing that I think this platform is going to be really, really good for him for is it's going to let him kind of turtle away from gun. Like, he doesn't really get that option anymore. Like, he either lands to the side and he can come right out from the platform and punish him for it, or he lands on the platform and he's getting sharked by Meta Knight up air.
Why did that not hit? Huh.
I know, a question for greater mind than mine right now, but right now BONK, again, just locking down control and, again, forcing Mercury out the left to right sides here and just picking up on the readable recovery that Joker has. And even from the tech bounce, he's still on top of things, on top, covering it like a peregrine falcon. And right now, 3-1 situation just shoved on the Mercury's plate. Let's see if he can clear his plate.
What an uncomfortable situation for
Yeah.
Merc to be in there. Like, what do you do?
MK side B is a very weird move because depending on where it hits and what it hits, depends what it does. Because it technically didn't hit anything, it didn't bounce. So, and Merc probably assumed he was going to hit the ledge and bounce up, which is why he up smash. And then he just didn't bounce, so he just up smashed nothing and he died for it.
And BONK is just not taking his foot off the gas here. He's just getting so much mileage. Merc going to be able to kind of quell a bit of that momentum here. He's got a bit of Arsene. Oh, but that catches the jump. Great DI from Merc. Not going to get caught by that third up air.
But again, either high or low, he's still just getting read out by the Meta Knight. And even things like falling there, he is giving up control. Oh my gosh.
This could just be curtains almost.
Absolutely. Great
Charging
shield away. DC on spot, though. But here's Mercury's chance with that platform. He gets a little bit, a second up air to make it 42%. But still, it is a gauntlet that Mercury is staring down right now in order to get back into this.
Right, and we'll see if he's able to do it. He's got to establish momentum here without Arsene.
Wow.
That hit through the stage?
Oh, yeah, it does that, but
that.
I'm surprised that, you know, he was just saving that in the back pocket until that moment. And his chances, you know, if he can just get a little more and survive here. Arsene called out, but that gives him the readable recovery. I thought, oh, he's on regrab. No, he was too far away. And the Nair of all things? Okay.
It's still a really bad position, though,
That
because you have
Nair
to
is
recover with Arsene.
deceptively strong.
Honestly, you could say that was half of MK's kit. Back air?
Back air is ridiculous.
No.
Just,
Not
yeah,
being able to get the
Mercury
back air out.
just recognizing how far his character can go and just using the full depth
Goodbye.
of its recovery, but he was just shoved into the further depth of the blast zone, and now BONK finally has made it 1-all here. I'm sorry, 2-0, my mistake. He did snatch that away. And we are on Winners Finals. Our top 4 is best-of-5 territory, so Mercury has one final shot to keep his winner side hopes alive here. Otherwise, he's going to be staring down the likes of Beast and other very strong players, very surprisingly.
So about that, Beast is not in anymore.
Oh, no, yeah, you're right.
The looks of
Surprisingly
Flasher,
taken
though.
out, but, I mean, yeah, that's a danger, too. Very unexpected taken out there, so...
I mean, hey, if you have to fight Slasher and lose, it's also scary because Shulk and the power of Skittles, taste the rainbow. Nah, I'm good.
And
I don't want
maybe
to deal with
now
that.
Slasher's got all the momentum and the confidence he needs to make an upset down in that hellscape that is Bairs losers bracket.
Yeah, and Merc does not. What is this route?
What a sequence!
But the jump saved incredible!
Oh, no, Slasher's out. Never mind.
Oh, yep.
Oh, dang,
Blast
okay.
TD took him out.
Well, it's the transitive property, though. Beast, a Slasher that took out Beast and a Blast TD that took out that Slasher is certainly a formidable opponent.
Yeah.
So
Imagine having the power of Beast and Slasher, and I gotta ask how it feels.
it's like Highlander. You just get the accumulated powers of them.
Ooh, now off stage, and I have to be very careful because Meta Knight long-lasting hitboxes like Bear are very scary. But
Good
Mercury
tech.
reading that and actually going for texture card, very smart from him.
I feel like as Meta Knight, where you're constantly going that deep off stage there, you just got to be ready to go for those like whack-ass techs.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Merc tech so many things that, like, if he missed one of them, it would have been spelled to stock so much earlier. So the fact he's been hitting these techs so consistently, other than, like, I think literally one, is so impressive. But really neutral get up with the up smash and having a lead for the first time this set, I think. Oh, no, that's not true. But first time on this stage, at least.
And, you know, Mercury being Joker, your tech game has to be pretty well refined because, again, those limited or readable recoveries certainly put you in some very nasty situations that you have to come back from. And right now, fighting tooth and nail to get back to stage and takes away stage control. Nearly a 3-1 situation could be in the future here for Mercury. BONK put him on those 3-1 situations before, but Mercury looking to force one now on the Bonk. Bonk playing that faraway game, but that bleed of the AHA going to put in the work at least to put him close to 75. And nearly staring at death's door. The way that Mercury is baiting him towards ledge, but again, waiting in the wings, that very quick up B, we're able to snipe out Mercury's awaited aggression, and now put it on level ground here and make it 2-2.
I like how Mercury's been changing his game plan a little bit. He's still been kind of going to what he did game. Oh my word, these grabs. What he's been doing game 1 of playing with his projectiles, but he's playing it a lot in a way where he's not hitting those buttons as much. He's just straight up waiting a lot more, waiting to see where Bonk's positioning is instead of just throwing up these buttons. So that's what's getting punished. So now that he's waiting a lot more, it's helping him a lot.
Yep.
Yeah,
doing nothing's a frame 0 option.
Exactly. If you spend time putting out the projectiles that aren't hitting, and with the speed of Meta Knight, that just gives Bonk more time to close that gap and make him much more of a threat. So Mercury's being trepidatious and choosy with his projectile usage. And again, that back air going to cover on stage. Projectiles doing the work to pile up near 100, and that back air being ever so lethal is keeping Mercury's hopes alive right now. But Bonk being a little swervy, a little swirly rather, on his movement in. He's really fiending for this second stock, though. He's throwing out a lot of smash attack, a lot of laggy options, but he has an attempt here with a grab set up, and again, that linear recovery, and another 2 techs from Mercury. I said he has to be on top of his tech game, but on stage, the other side of things, it will be evened up to make it 1-all.
Yeah, once we saw Bonk, like, be put at that stock deficit, he got super aggressive. He basically changed his entire game plan, which I actually kind of like, because now Brrrr has an entirely new game plan he has to adapt to on the fly when you're literally on death's door, and I think it actually is working well. Quite well with Bonk, and now he's continuing to play that aggressive nature, and Mercury's kind of having trouble, fighting that off, but he is starting to make ground back, and now has Arsene on deck, and this could be death percent for Meta Knight if you just hit the right buttons.
I feel like the win condition for Mercury having to play this super slow, methodical chip gameplay, not really being able to get any crazy combos or anything with Joker, but then Bonk's win condition being, I'm going to win neutral once, and situationally I can kill you off of it. Like, the fact that he has to play this so slow must be exhausting, and he's doing incredible at it.
Yeah, the fortitude for anybody in Winners Finals has to be on point, and right now Mercury still showing signs of life in that regard, as he has one finally chalked up against the touch of death menace that is Bonk. Off of his 5-week break and still looking fresh, nearly to take Winterside Grands, but Mercury having some impressive runs from Bairs past. I believe the one that Joshdon won, I think, about 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago, he was second place. So he is certainly eyeing for that Winterside Grands himself, and certainly he's the only one left to do it, and I think he's the only one that can do it realistically, the way that the rest of our bracket went tonight.
Oh, actually, I think of the C- one where he had to fight Snake and I think got sent to lose by Pokefans right as top 16.
Oh, you're right, yes.
And had to fight like 3 I think he had to fight Beast, Joshdon, and somewhere like another top PRC just to get there. But Merc of all people definitely has the ability to do it. His patience is so good. I feel like now that you have that game win, you just play with that patience further.
Yeah.
You ride the momentum you have from the game with all the knowledge you have. You can definitely do it. But now we're going back to FD. It takes up actually Merc that we started game 1 that didn't feel amazing, but also didn't feel terrible for Merc.
I think the other thing is that since Bonk switched to this high-octane aggressive gameplay, FD is going to be kind of the counterpick to that specific style, but then Bonk can just kind of go back to what he was doing that first game that worked out so well for him.
Yeah, all too true. Just, fresh stocks, fresh game. You can just really get the lay of the land and take your time doing it. And right now, that's why we're seeing just a regular scrap here, nearly toe-to-toe. But Mercury with an opportunity with Arsene in hand. Going to use that fair to get the leg up right now on Bonk. And again, staring down, we might see shades of that aggressive nature that Shockless just said to pull away from, at least for the early interactions here. We'll see if Bonk pulls them out and gives Mercury another attempt at life, or very surprisingly, if Bonk has more in the reserves, it could overwhelm Mercury very, very quickly.
Yeah, if Merc's able to set up his walls properly and punish, Bonk for going for these options, it's going to work out very well for him. And he has a pretty good lead so far, and he definitely seems to be trying to maintain it, just getting his damage and not really getting touched. Playing very safe, playing very smart, and it feels very different from like what we've been seeing like before, where I feel like Bonk was kind of able to eventually get in, but Merc is not letting him. He's building his wall. He's throwing his buttons. He's shooting him. He's using Nair, F-tilt, and just has not even taken damage until that F-tilt, but he might lose the stock for it, and he does.
Wow.
Now right even, and honestly, this is even because you're at Bonk, you're Bonk MK, you're
at
Ladder
Bonk.
Master.
You are at Bonk.
You have Rage. You are honestly, yeah, you are at Bonk. You are at Bonk percent. See
Well,
Bonk percent.
Here
There
we
you
go.
go.
Whee!
Break the eye.
Aw.
Good, but he's
At the end of the day, we're all at bonk percent when we're
adapting to the. He's adapting really well
Yep.
to those ladders. And
Dear
even Bonk now
Lord!
starting
He
to frame trap.
overcommitted on that F smash, and then he got Joker dared up air. And Merc has not super been hitting those decent, so being able to get that one right then was very important.
Yeah, and a little too cavalier with that jab just gave Mercury stage control yet again off of that kill. And Bonk now fighting an uphill battle as, again, Mercury realizing that if Bonk is going to play that far away reserved aggression play style, he has the projectiles to be able to pester Bonk enough where he could get him a little more angry and a little more accidental in his movement in or his attacks moving in. So
The one big thing I'm liking is I don't feel like now that Merc has this lead, I don't feel like he's making any really unnecessary commitments, and it's really forcing Bonk to, like I was saying earlier, like get creative to find his openings.
exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that. Especially, and because of that, I think Bonk actually starts overshooting. Hit like his moves, like you go for an F smash on shield. You now need to like push yourself forward to hit him.
Right.
Because Merc's gonna dash back. He's not trying to actually drop his lead and then get 0 to death like on his last stock. I feel like Bonk needs to realize that and start punishing that and go for overshoots. While Merc at the same time needs to be aware of this and not dash back as much if he thinks Aaron or Bonk's gonna like start pushing on that. And never seeing him just play range, not commit, but get hit by that dash attack and now he's off stage.
Yeah, Bonk's saying if you're not gonna commit, I'm gonna make you. One big thing I'm seeing is that I feel like
Jab.
consistently in disadvantage, Merc has just been drifting back or teching out or rolling away, and Bonk has been catching it so many times. Like like in the past only minute or so, I've seen him catch about 3 or 4 times. I wonder if that's something that is really gonna give him that advantage he needs.
And Mercury just recognized that Bonk was already at 92, so he backed away from a full sprint in that Joker was about to
Bonk
unleash on
percent?
him. But yeah, there you go. That ever lethal 0% is going to give an opportunity and a
I saw him
steal.
hit the first one. I was like, oh, if he can hit another and kill him off this. I didn't even know if he needed the second one. I mean, I guess he did. But I'm like, oh, he's dead. And I feel like we don't see Bonk go for like the straight up air ladder kills that much. It's usually off of a combo where he just kills like
It was such a good
Midnight
anti-air,
frame
though.
data. Oh no, it's an amazing anti-air. It just doesn't hit them because it's hard. So if you're not in the right position to immediately confirm off that, then you just don't get anything. Or you up B wrong and then you fall down and you get F smash and you die.
Right.
So the fact that he was able to convert off that was really good.
I wouldn't call it panic, but it felt like there was a little bit of fear in that Mercury disadvantage state in that like kind of latter half of the game there, where it felt like it's like I said, it wasn't like he was like super like